So in today's market, would you say it's better to have a fixed or variable mortgage?
Ooh, that's a good one. And I mean, I'm talking as of right now, right? Some people might
Right,
go back
right
on the
now.
thing like, yeah,
Yeah.
right now. And until, I mean, you said it earlier with the last question, when the Bank of Canada came out with half a point cut, it's really a case for us to say, hey, if you can go variable, do it.
Okay.
Okay. Because everybody's forecasting for it to go down further, right?
Okay.
How much more and how fast is always the question. And I can't guarantee you how much more it'll go down, right?
But
But
not to the COVID levels. No.
I don't think we're gonna see
No.
that for a while or
No.
maybe ever.
Yeah.
But like, hey, like you saw the Bank of Canada react with half a point, which is like
Right.
it's a big statement saying, hey, we need to help the economy out, spur the economy. So right now, and I mentioned earlier, if you're able to qualify for a variable rate and you're a bit more flexible with your finances, take the variable. Take the
Okay.
variable, um, write it out, let the rates come down, and then you can lock it in, right? But again, like some people are more comfortable with a fixed environment where they know their payments, they know it's going to be this amount for this many years, and they can budget around it, right?
Okay.
But like it comes down to personal preference, and I'm dealing
Yeah.
with it now with first time buyers because as much as I say to them, hey, take the variable, or this is my advice, it comes down to personal preference, right?
Yeah. They're a
You
risk
know,
taker if they're not a risk taker.
yeah. Or,
Yeah.
like, hey, you know what? But if you're able to pay, and a lot of people that have variable, I mean, they saw their payments go this way.
Mm,
And then now when the rates are coming down, they see their payments kind of go this way. Because again, your payments will adjust with the rate, right?
yeah.
So your payments will go up if the rate goes up, your payments will go down if the rate goes down. So right now, when we see rates are coming down, that's a good way to kind of get in and say, okay, how much lower can it get? Yeah.
So how do people transition? This is not on my list of questions, but I'm sure you can answer it. If at first when they buy their home, they're like, okay, fixed rate, like let's just stick with that. But then they change their mind when they see, the rate is going down.
Yeah.
How do they change from a fixed to a variable?
And that's a bit more difficult than the
Okay.
other way around because,
Okay.
when it comes to a fixed rate, you're typically paying a penalty to break the
Right.
mortgage plus what they call an interest rate differential, which again, that could be another half an hour discussion, right?
Okay.
To break that and get into it. When you're going from a variable to a fixed, it's a lot easier. It's typically just 3 months penalty to do that. And
Okay.
you just budget it out saying, okay, what's the cost going to be and how is it going to benefit me in the future? So again, like, if and same thing, like, if you're thinking of moving, thinking of upsizing, and then the next 5 years, you might consider a variable versus a fixed rate,
Okay.
right? So again, but again, if you're a brand new buyer and you're pretty certain that for the next 5 years you're going to be pretty much doing the same thing,
Right.
you may or may not think of having kids, but even having one kid, you can still stay in the house. Then sure, if you want to just say, you know what, we're going to coast this way, we're going to build up our equity, we're going to build up our jobs, we're going to make more money. The next 5 years, it's straight through, right?
Okay.
But again, if you have, and this is a conversation we have, if you have a certainty, maybe, your job might move you, or you might want to move jobs. All of a sudden, you're thinking of moving from Toronto to maybe Ottawa, and you have to sell and buy. Then variable is probably the way to go.
Okay.